Okay, guys. Um, Last time I started us off with something pretty serious, race relations in America, and it was only the foundation work for more series. But I thought I'd bring it back a step, something not so serious. I mean, it's still a concern, but um, it's not as a dramatic of a thing. And then that's driving in America. Now, I live in Ohio, and I know as I've traveled around the country, each place you go has their own style. So some of these things may not factor in your area. Some may. Um, and I don't know why. If you go from state to state, people drive different. Um, I don't know why that is, but it does seem to be, a difference. You know, in Ohio, we've got our state troopers are out there and they will nail you. Now here in town, I can speed all over town. Zing, zing, zing. I leave town, get out on the open highway, away from Columbus, and I'm getting nailed every time. But then as soon as you drive over the Ohio border, it's almost immediately, like I'm going down towards Kentucky. You go over the Ohio River. As soon as you cross that river, motherfuckers are flying past you. There's like a 15, 20 mile an hour difference just crossing that border. So, it's something neat. But I've noticed that, in different areas of the country, people drive different. But, I don't have enough driving experience in other places to speak on them. I'm just speaking on Ohio. And one of the things I've noticed lately, now some of these I've noticed over the years, and some have just been recent. Like recently here in town, I've noticed people driving with their brights on. And it's not just one here and there. It's multiples. There for a minute, me being the dick I am, I had one of those spotlights, and I hit your brights, or hit my brights to, let you know you got your brights on. You don't, I'll blind your ass. You're driving around blinding everybody else, and most of them still don't get it. I was in a drive-through, and the guy behind me had his brights on, and it's in the mirror. He's not pulling up far enough where his headlights was being blocked by my trunk, so I'm holding my hand over, and this moron still isn't getting it. So I turned it on, and I turned behind me, and beamed him right in his eye, and you can see him back there, and still not. You don't see that little blue light on your dashboard letting you know your brights are on. I just didn't get it. And another trend that I've been seeing, a lot of people, they drive with their fog lights on, but lately I've been seeing people with just fog lights on. So you can tell it's just the fog lights when they're coming down the street because it's so low to the street. It's not where it's supposed to be. And I don't think they're getting it that, the rest of their lights aren't on, their brake lights aren't on. I thought it was illegal to drive with your brights on, but with as many people as I've been seeing doing it, apparently not. And here's another one, and this one's a real peeve of mine. When you pull into a turn lane, you'll notice about a half a car length back to a car length back, there's a little square. It's to trip the turn light. That way you get a turn signal. But people won't park on it. They'll rush to the front of that line, and they'll even go over the line a little bit. I'm first, I'm first, I'm first. Well, unless somebody pulls behind you and trips that little thing, you're going last. One of the guys that worked for me was a sheriff in another county at one point in his life. And he didn't know that was to turn your... what did you think that was for? Almost every turn lane has them. You know, you can see the little square cut out. Did you think they, repaired every turn lane? Because that's what he told me. He thought it was where they had repaired it. And I'm like, you didn't notice it was on all of them? I won't say all, but, a good 90% of them, it's got that little square. And if you don't sit on it, you don't get a turn light. And people crowd that light. They got to be first. That's another one that I've noticed. Everybody is in such a all-fire hurry in the mornings, going downtown. Ours goes like a plus sign, and then we've got 270 that goes around. So you got 70 and 71. And right there at the split, you can go in towards downtown, or you can go out west, which lets you go to the south, or you can go north. And it's basically 2 lanes going this way, 2 lanes going that way. And it's all backed up, because most people are heading downtown or to the west and south. So that side's always backed up. But the reason it's backed up is because people come and they'll get over in the 2 lanes that should be going north, and at the last minute they jump over. And that makes everybody hit their brakes, which causes the backup. The backup's only there because you're causing it. Or because people are causing it. Trying to be first. If they weren't doing that, you would get right. It would slow down, but it wouldn't come to the stop like it does now. But everybody's important. They're the only person on the road that's important. And I don't understand that. I just don't. I hate these cigarettes that go out. I don't understand what makes you think you're the only person that's important. If you're running that late every day, get up 5 minutes earlier. I just don't understand. Here's another one that I see all the time. Person will hit their turn signal and immediately get over. Like they're not even looking. Like that turn signal is supposed to make everything stop. Or the other one I see with the turn signal is somebody will put on their turn signal and this guy will speed up so you can't get in front of him. Really, is that one person in front of you really gonna hurt, make you late? Is it really this need of everybody to be first? I gotta be first. It causes more problems than anything. We have traffic accidents every day, every morning and every evening. The rush hour traffic jams. And most of it is caused by this stupid shit. Either somebody turned on the turn signal and just darted over, like everybody should just stop for them, or they went to turn on the turn signal and this guy come up forward and now they're going to be a dick and come over. And then bang. Or the guy that jumps over 2 lanes and then bounces all the way over, and that causes the wreck. Most of the wrecks are that. You're trying to get home, you want to get to your easy chair and your beer, but you just wrecked your car, so now it'll be an extra 2 hours. I just don't get it. People getting on the freeway, on the on-ramp, and they're going all slow. And then they'll stop at the bottom of the on-ramp like somebody's going to let them out. You're supposed to merge. I don't understand this, this fear of getting on the freeway. If you're that goddamn scared, stay off the fucking freeway. You're supposed to merge. And it is much easier to be going the same speed by the time you get down there as they are. If you have to hit your brakes, it's easier to slow down than it is to speed up. It's easier to drop down 20 miles an hour than it is to jump up 20 miles an hour. Unless you've got some souped up car with, turbo boost or whatever, but on general, it's easier to slow down than it is to speed up. So shouldn't you be going about the same speed they are? That way you can slip in somewhere. But I see it all the time. They're doing 65, 70, and this guy's getting on to try to do 35. But hey, it's the pedal on the right. And I wish they enacted all laws like the Autobahn, where if you're in the fast lane, the passing lane, you get hit in the ass, it's your fault. Because I don't know how many times I've gotten on close to downtown, and somebody lives out of town, and they will get over into the fast lane and they will stay there. Doesn't matter how many people are behind them honking their horns, they're in that fast lane doing exactly the speed limit. It's called the fast lane. It's called the passing lane. I understand you don't want to be in the first lane because that's where people get on and off. That's what that middle lane's for. You get in the middle and you roll. When you get close to your exit, you get over one and then get off. Somebody's in front of you going slow, you get into the passing lane, you pass them, you get the fuck back over. How is that so hard to figure out? And a lot of times it's women. I'm not going to say it's always women drivers. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of times it's the women, and they'll get over there and they will not get back out of that fast lane. And they're going, 45 minutes, an hour away. But they get over into that lane and refuse to get back out of it. Don't care how many people have to go around them. Don't understand it. They call it a passing lane for a reason. And here's one more that I've noticed. And this is when I'm on my motorcycle. And what I've noticed, and I'm not trying to sound racist or anything, but it's 98% of the time it's a black woman. But say I pull up on my motorcycle next to a black woman, she will try to blow her motor up trying to get away, And I've asked people about it, and well, maybe she's trying to get away from the noise. Well, if so, you let me go. And you can hear their engine, because I've got the same horsepower that they've got, basically. But I've got a 16th of the weight, so there's no way in hell you're going to beat me in a drag race. And for some reason, you'll go to take off, and you can hear their engine. So you give it a little more gas, and the next thing you know, we're going a pretty good click, and I can hear her motor getting ready to blow the fuck up. She is bound, determined that she's going to go and get away, go faster. Usually I'm just putting around. I've got nowhere to go, so I'm just out riding the bike. And I hear the motor, so of course I'm gonna fuck with them. It's just a little click of the wrist. If I really want to get away from you, I'd drop a gear and fucking leave you. But I'll play with them, and they will damn near blow their motors up. You can hear it, do you think you're going to beat me? And, I said it was black women because I've never had a white woman do it to me. Never. Now, I've had a white guy, usually younger than me, wanting to race. But those I let go. He's young, he's dumb, he's in fighter mode, driving. He's going to beat everybody. So those I let go. And rarely will a black man want to race. And I don't even think it's a matter of racing. It's I'm going to go. I'm more important. I'm going to be first. That's the feeling I get from them. And I've never understood it. Because like I said, I've got all the horsepower and a 16th of the weight. So there's no way in hell you're going to beat me if I really want to. I don't notice it as much in my car. I still do from time to time, but it's mainly on the motorcycle. And I haven't figured that one out. Um, Maybe you guys have some insight onto that. But why is all these problems? You know, a lot of it's courtesy. There seems to be no courtesy anymore, especially on the road. Um, like when I'm on my motorcycle, the only time I get courtesy on the road is in the winter, when there's no other motorcycles around but me. You know, in the summertime, you can come up to a four-way stop, and they don't give a shit about you. You know, they don't think that they're not sitting there balancing. You know, they're leaned back, listening to the radio. I'm exposed. That doesn't come into play until winter. Wintertime, they will wave you through. I think they're just wanting a better look at the fucking idiot, you know, that's out in the cold. Like, look at this guy. That's the only time I see any courtesy really on the road, on the motorcycle. But yeah, there's like no courtesy anymore. You come to a four-way stop and the guy got there 2 seconds before you, and I'll be damned if he lets you go first. You know, everybody's got to be first. The lines at the traffic lights, they're on them or over them, you know. Like they're pissed off that they had to stop. And they're going to be first. And especially in the turn lane, you know, if you didn't trip that meter, you're not going first anyway. So you're going to wait till all the traffic goes, and then you're going to get the turn. Because you didn't sit on that little square to trip the light. But I just don't understand why we don't have courtesy on the road anymore. You know, just like the turn signal deal. Somebody will see a turn signal and they will speed up. And this one's one I get a lot. You'll be driving. There's nobody behind you for a quarter mile. You'll get some asshole that'll come up, get in front of you, and then stop to turn in someplace. He had to get in front of you. He couldn't have gotten behind you where there was a quarter mile of fucking people, you know, or, you know, lack of people. You know, he could have gotten behind you, turned in, and not affected anybody. But instead, he will jump up in front of you, blow his fucking motor up to do it, then hit his fucking brakes, and then make the turn. You know, why couldn't you have gotten behind me where nobody was at? You wouldn't have affected me. There's a road, Tussing, over by Bryce Road. It's a busy area. And they got this one little section that it used to be a turn lane only, but then they made it a turn and a straight. But then maybe a car length and a half past that, it goes down into one lane. At busy times of the day, instead of people getting behind, they will rush over there and then try to beat you into that lane. And I see it a lot. And you'll see the guys that are like, oh, hell no, you're not going to beat me. And now you got a drag race, you know, because neither one of them wants to be behind the other one. I went to a traffic school one time, had a ticket, and they'd take the 2 points if you go to this class. And, they showed speeding. It was a big thing that they were trying to get you to realize that, going on 5 miles an hour faster really didn't get you anywhere any quicker. Now if you're going cross country, yeah, you'll have 5 more miles an hour. You'll get 5 miles farther. But in town, it just doesn't equate, And I see guys, especially like if it's snowing or something, you got people doing 10 miles an hour and people doing 110. Especially the guys in the big 4-wheel drive trucks, they can get going. So, they think they're doing something, and then you see the first turn or the first bend on the highway, they'll be down in the fucking ditch because they didn't think about turning. They get going, but they can't turn any better than you can. So they get to that first bend and they get off into the ditch. I love that. Justice is served. But yeah, you're not going to save anything. People rush into red lights. You raced to a red light. You cut 3 or 4 people off, dipping and diving, and you made it one space farther by the time the next red light gets there. You've almost caused 4 accidents, all to get one spot. Was that one spot really that important? Did that one spot, get you somewhere? I just don't. I don't see the benefits. Am I alone here? Is my thinking that far off? I know a lot of times I don't see the world like everybody else does, but am I really that far off? I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. I'd like to hear your views on this. Maybe I am just crazy and off my rocker. I don't know. Tell me. Peace.